Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you a 2012 team preview for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to start with the Bills offense to see what we can expect these guys to look like this upcoming season. I have a slight question mark about the quarterback position for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know which Ryan Fitzpatrick we're going to see in 2012. Is it going to be the guy that has outstanding deep ball accuracy, a guy that's a fearless leader, or will it be the guy that tends to hold the football a little bit too long, bird dogs wide receivers? They need to find out the Ryan Fitzpatrick that's going to come and play in, week out for 16 games. But I think that's why they bring in a guy like Vince Young. I actually think Vince Young will be the perfect fit for this offense. Why? He is going to open up the running game. You put a guy back there that's mobile, that's a winner. Watch how great the running game looks when you have a guy in Vince Young in the backfield. Spiller's going to have more room to run. Fred Jackson's going to have more room to run. And guys like that also dictate coverage. And when I'm talking about dictating coverage, I'm talking about the ability to give the receivers more zone type of coverages to run against. When you have a mobile quarterback back there in the pocket, teams won't play man against you as much. Why? Because of the threat of the run. So Vince Young back there gives the receivers more room to run to be able to settle down in those open zones so he can hit those passes. The Buffalo Bills boast the best backfield tandem in the AFC. You look at a guy like Fred Jackson that brings a lot of Matt Forte-like skill set to the table for the Bills. He can run very well because he doesn't waste movements, outstanding vision, catches the football very well out of the backfield, and also is an effective pass blocker as far as but to pick up is concerned. He's coming off an injury, so look for his running mate, C.J. Spiller, to have another outstanding campaign to build on what he did last year. This guy has the home run speed, has the ability to make you miss in the phone booth, and also still, I believe, is going to be the next 2,000-yard rusher, mark my words. And they also have some solid depth out there in the backfield as well. Tashard Choice is another guy that's going to come in, can catch the football on third downs, and also Johnny White, second-year guy out of North Carolina. So the Bills' backfield won't be a problem again in 2012. Look for these guys to lean on these backs to carry this team. The Bills receiving core starts with Stevie Johnson. He is the headliner of this core. If he can get help on the opposite side of him, if they can find a consistent number two to draw away coverage from Stevie Johnson, he can be effective. I like what I see out of tight end Scott Chandler. He's a guy that can control the middle of the field, provides instant matchup problems for safeties and linebackers. They have to find a number two. Donald Jones is a guy that's going to be solid. Also, you look at David Nelson. Can he come in and be consistent? But there's a bunch of young guys out there, guys like David Clowney. They drafted a guy named T.J. Graham out of North Carolina State. Can he be consistent? Brad Smith is another guy that can get in there and play some effective wide receiver. So the Bills receiving core ultimately is tied to the quarterback play. If the quarterback play is solid, these guys can make plays. You saw last year how effective they were in the early part of the season. So I have confidence that they can get it done. It's just up to the QBs to be consistent and these young receivers to grow dramatically over the course of the season. I'm excited about the Bills' offensive line. They realized last year it was a slight weakness. They did a great job of improving it in the offseason, drafting Cordy Glenn out of Georgia, also drafting a guy later on in Zebry Sanders. But to go along with their starters, Andy Levitre, Eric Pierce, also Craig Urbick, and Eric Wood, these guys did a great job of opening up holes in the running game, giving Fitzpatrick time. So I think this offensive line now will be a strength. Yes, they lost Demetrius Bell, but again, bringing in a rookie, Cordy Glenn should do a great job. Long arms, tremendous footwork for a big guy, and also can be dominant in the run game. Zebry Sanders is going to be a guy that can come in and play either side of the line of scrimmage, left or right tackle for these guys, so you get depth. Chris Harrison is another guy that provides solid depth. So I actually love the Buffalo Bills offensive line. It's going to be a huge surprise in 2012. I'm as equally excited about the Bills' defensive line. I think right now the Bills have one of the better defensive lines in the AFC East, if not the best defensive line on paper. Yes, these guys still have to play, but getting Mario Williams to come over was a huge addition to that defensive front. They're switching back to a 4-3. I think this better suits their personnel already. You also add Mark Anderson coming over from the New England Patriots. So these guys are going to have two bookends that can rush the passer to join with their interior strength, Kyle Williams, the nose tackle, and also second-year guy Marcel Darius. These guys right now, this front four will cause a lot of problems for opposing defense. You have depth guys like Terrell Troop, who's going to do a great job of being that one technique. His job will just be to get push up the middle. You also look at another guy they drafted a while back, Alex Carrington. I think he can be a situational guy. Don't forget about Sean Merriman. 10 to 12 plays a game, Sean Merriman can give you the same lights out performance he did out there in San Diego. I think the Bills' linebacking core is solid enough to move from a 3-4 to a 4-3. They're led by their star, Nick Barnett, a guy that doesn't come off the field on third down, can cover, can also tackle very well. So I like what he brings to the table. And these guys are better suited for a 4-3 anyway. They're going to be in better position now to make plays due to a revamped defensive front, guys that can push the pocket, free up lanes for these guys to attack downhill in the running game. Also look at Kirk Morrison, another guy that's better suited for a 4-3. He's going to be able to set the edge. He's going to be able to set the tone on defense, get back to his playmaking ways like he was as an Oakland Raider. You also look at Kelvin Shepard, a guy that can bring a lot of pass rushing ability, a guy that can get after the quarterback. I like the way he plays the game, holds down the middle of the field, holds down the middle of the defense. Keep an eye on rookie Tank Carter. I like what he brings to the table. I like them at TCU. He's going to be a great fit for their Buffalo Bills defense. The Bills secondary got back to their ball hawking ways in 2011. I think they're going to do the same thing in 2012 with an improved pass rush. They bring over Stephon Gilmore, the rookie out of South Carolina, a guy that's going to do a great job of matching up well with tight ends. Terrence McGee seems like he's been there for over 15 years. Solid veteran, does a great job of making plays. Aaron Williams, the second-year guy out of Texas, should give these guys an outstanding 1-2-3 cornerback duo. And we already know about the safety play of Jarius Byrd, a guy that is always around the football. You team him up with George Wilson. George Wilson does a great job of enforcing the run. Byrd does a great job of stopping the pass. But I think they have some solid depth guys like Justin Rogers, Denoris Searcy, guys who are going to come in, bring in that nickel package, do a great job, that nickel and dime package, and you need that when playing in the AFC East. You're going to have teams like the Patriots and teams like the Dolphins will try to spread you out. The Bills are well equipped to stop the pass this season. This is a team that's not that far off. Remember, they beat the Patriots last year. They match up well with the Giants. They actually should have won that ball game. They were 5-2 before the wheels fell off on their season. So a little tweak here and there, adding pieces to the offensive line, getting back to a 4-3, getting aggressive on the defensive side of football. There's the reason why you have to have some optimism if you're a Buffalo Bills fan this season. I think it would all fall on the shoulders of the quarterback play. Can they get consistent play from Ryan Fitzpatrick? If not, can Vince Young come in and lead these guys to the playoffs? That's going to be the biggest concern for me for the Buffalo Bills. That and the consistency out of the receiving core. That right there can keep the Bills out of the playoffs, but if they come together, they can get the Bills into the playoffs as a wild card. I think the Buffalo Bills finished second in the AFC East. I really think this team will make a strong push for the playoffs. So they're going to give the fans out there in Western New York a lot to cheer about this season. The Buffalo Bills, again, are a team that wasn't that far off last year. They dismantled the Eagles. They beat up on the Redskins. They beat up on the Patriots. So this is a team that has talent, like I mentioned before. Look for these guys to contend for the AFC East crown. I think they're better than the Jets right now. I think they're better than the Dolphins right now, and they can match up well with the Patriots. I think the Buffalo Bills have a magical season out there in the AFC.